Hello. Today we will see this query group. We'll have a look at this query group. So what is there in this? First we have the refresh preview. In this refresh preview we can see that we can take any table over here, the practice table, and we can see that the figures are there 41, 53, and 80. So we can go to the source data where it is located, and from there we can change the data there. The source data will be located over here. That is the this particular folder and the first lecture. So we can see that source data is located over here. And that source data, okay, this is not the source data, I think. Just go back over here. This will be the source data. Just open the source data over here, and we can see that this particular thing 41, 53, and 80. So in this also 41, 53, and 80. Now suppose I change this to 90 or 75. I change this thing over here to 75, press save, and then go over here and just press the refresh preview. Then press the refresh preview, and we can see over here that the 75 has been reflected over here. Whatever we have typed over here is reflected over here. Like 55 instead of 65, if we put 55, then we can clearly see over here instead of 65, instead of the 65, 65 is there over here. Then we can put the refresh preview and we will be able to get the figure over here. Okay, I will just check I think I've not saved it. So I will just save it over here. Okay, 55 and close this file. And then after that, press the refresh preview. It is always preferable to press the refresh preview because if we press the refresh on, it will take more time to refresh. Okay, we can see that the 55 is changed. Okay, then we can see over here that three options. The refresh preview means only this thing has been refreshed, whatever we have selected, and refresh all means all the things have been refreshed, whatever we have done. It might be like appending the database also. The database might be appended or any change in the original database. That is the refresh. Okay. Refresh preview. Now we can see over here we have created a duplicate file from this. And so we can just go and delete this. That is the delete first. Delete will delete the query over here. And this way we can delete the query which is been done. And then afterwards, there are two options. One is the duplicate and one is the reference. So using the sales details, we will be trying to understand what is the duplicate and what is the reference. So how we can find out the duplicate? Let's see that once we do the duplicate of anything like we have done it earlier, that we can term it as draft. Okay, we can term this as a draft. And now if we do the Suppose if we do the go over here and then do the reference, this particular thing, then do the reference over here. So this we will be using for the group by one, the group by function. This particular reference we will be using it for the group by. So I will type the group by over here. Okay, that is the draft. Now the thing is that what is the difference between the duplicate and the reference? Now we can see over here, once we duplicate this, then any type of things which we change over here, like we go on this particular thing and we change over here, or we can change that. Instead of that, now the same place over here. So you can see that once we duplicate it, the same kind of things are over here. Okay. The filtered rows are effective over here. So what we can do is, in the duplicate, we will delete this step and we will delete this step also. So we will get back to the normal over here. We can get back to the normal, and then in this case also we have the source. So okay, now we have the same day over here, but in the case of the group by, we have everything over here. Okay. So the thing is that we will see what is the difference between the group by. This also we will delete the filtered rows. We will delete the filtered rows and bring back everything normal. So now, suppose if I filtered anything, If I filter anything, I can put the second class over here. Now only the second class will be visible. And if we go to the group I think I've not referenced this. What I've done is it might be a duplicate or something. Source draft. Okay, this is the reference of the draft. That's why the reason it is not there. This is the reference of the draft. I need to delete it. What we need to do is that we need to create a reference of the original file. That way, if we create a reference of the original file, whatever we do on this particular file, like this is the reference, so this is the group by, whatever we do on the original file, then we will be able to, like you can see over here, we have the second class only. Okay. We have the second class only. Here also we have the second class. Like if I filter from the second class to the same day, what will happen? We have the same day over here. The same thing will be reflecting over here. So this is the replica of this particular thing. Replica, and whatever changes we have made in the reference, what happens is whatever changes we make, whatever filtration we do, or whatever deletion we do over here, it gets reflected over here. So once we try to make, if we have a particular thing like in the source, not here, sorry, not over here. We should go over here and try to do the source over here, the advanced editor. There we can see the source is there, says details equal. This is the source. Okay. This is the source over here. And then we can see over here, it is same, that is there. Now, if I go over here and do the select all, then we can go back to this particular group by and we can see everything is seen over here. Okay. What is the truth? So after that, what is the important thing over here? This that once we make any reference to a particular thing, once we make any reference to a particular thing over here, suppose if we select the original file, this is the reference file, this is the duplicate. So what happens once we make a reference, then we cannot delete the original file. We can see cannot be deleted because it's referenced by another query group by. This particular query is reference to this particular query. So it is a link to this particular query. So it is not possible for us to delete the original file which is there. We can delete this particular file, that is possible. That is possible. Like you can see that message has not been shown. We can press the delete button over here, and even this file can be deleted. But the original file which is reference to, which there is a reference created to some another file, that original file cannot be deleted. Okay, that is the reason, that is the thing why we can see it now. Now the thing is, we will like to see afterwards, seeing this, we will go to the properties over here. And main thing first, before going to the properties, we will go to the Power BI desktop. Click and apply over here. Go to the Power BI desktop. That is quite good now. So while going to the Power BI desktop, one thing I will need to show it over here is we can see that, and we can see that all the queries are the tables. This once it goes to the Power BI desktop, these tables are there. We can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7 tables are there. Okay. Now I will go back to the transform data. I will go to the transform data. There I will try to understand that. Suppose if we use this and there is an option in the properties, there is an option in the properties that we don't enable this, disable this. Disabling will remove the table from the report and any visuals that it create that uses its column will be broken. So this will be disabled, and this I press OK. What will happen is this particular thing will not, and if I close and apply, and if I close and apply, we can clearly see this. This draft is over here. This draft is over here is gone. So what happens is that if we remove that tick, if we remove the tick over here, we can clearly see it over here that once I'm removing the tick from this draft, once I'm removing the trip, either I can remove the trip. You can see over here, enable load option has not been ticked, that I've removed it. Okay. So once you click it over here, this particular option report refresh has been highlighted. Okay. Then what can I do is I can go over here and properties and enable load to report. So what happens if we click it over here, then it is loaded in the Power BI desktop and it is seen in the Power. Else if it is not loaded, this will be in the Power Query itself. Power BI desktop will not see it. Okay, so here we can just write the details of sales transaction. Okay, when we hover the mouse, If you write something over here, sales of sales transaction. When we hold the mouse, then we can see over here, we have written it over here. Now we will try holding the mouse over here. So here there is nothing written. So if we hold the mouse, this only name comes, whatever name is there. But if we hold the mouse over here, then the description is there. So this that particular is shown over here. Okay. So that is the there, that is there. The properties again we can see in the include report refresh. Whatever is there, if we don't click this, if we remove this, then in the report refresh, it will not be there. It should this query when you're refreshing your report in okay. It is written what? In Power BI desktop and your data set in Power BI service. Okay, this in this query when refreshing your report in Power BI desktop, if you click this, then the report refresh will be done. Like whatever changes have been made to the source data that will be reflected in the visuals and all those things if we click this particular thing. Okay. So now after this, after seeing the query, now the advanced editor already we have seen. Then we will be going on to the choose columns and the remove columns. Okay. The choose columns, what it does, we have seen that the choose columns is what? It is just choosing which columns we can see. Like here, if I see want to see the just these columns, then product ID, product name, cost per unit, sales per unit, that's it. All the other columns will be gone. From the table, all the other columns will be gone. We can bring them back, but this particular thing we will be able to show those columns and the visuals will be based on it. Now, suppose if you want to bring that columns back, then we can use the select column option, and then all the columns, whatever we have gone, will be back again. Okay, we will be able to see it back again. And then comes the go-to column, like we have seen it earlier in the view tab, that we can select the payment method over here and directly jump onto a particular column. Instead of scrolling the bar and go onto the column, the shortcut key helps on to jump to the particular column. Okay. Now, after that, what the options is that we have the remove columns. The remove columns options, which whatever we have, whatever selection we have, like if we have two selections. If we have selected two columns, those particular columns will be removed. We can just use the remove column option and we can see that the two particular columns has been removed. These columns were there. Now in this, these columns have been removed. Okay. That way it is. And then if you go on to the choose columns and the go to columns we have seen. Okay, so this we have seen. Okay, fine. Then there's remove other columns. Remove other columns means what? Whatever we have selected, that will remain. Whatever we selected, that will remain, and then the other columns will be gone. So only the two columns will be remaining over here. Okay, that will be a thing, that particular thing. And then today we will try to finish up the reduce rows today and the transform reduce rows group today and the transform group today. Sort is also a very essential group. Here we can see that ascending is right. We can see over here it is ascending. Whatever we have clicked, that is ascending over here. And then we can clear the sort. Like we can see over here, this is the option. This is the click over here with an arrow, so that we can see that is the ascending, and here is the descending. Here is the descending, and there is the ascending. Okay, so that way these options are there. And after that, ascending, descending, we can use the keep rows, keep rows and the remove rows, and lastly the group by function. So we will be winding up for today then afterwards. So keep rows option, we have the keep top rows, bottom rows, and the range of rows. Okay. Then comes the keep status. If you keep the 5 rows, all other rows will be deleted on its own. That is it. That is the keep rows. Okay. Then comes the keep bottom rows. That also we need to specify that 50 bottom rows have to be kept. 50 bottom rows have to be kept and approved. Okay. So we can see over here the 50 rows and rest all the rows have been deleted from here. So we can delete this particular step and go back over here, and then we can select the key range of rows. Like first row we will select it for 10, after number of rows after that we will be selected for 50 or something. So what will happen is the 10th. First row is 10. So this particular thing, 10, I think from the 11 or 10th, like from the 10th it will start. Oh, so from the 10th it will start and then it will go up to the 60 because 50. Okay. 50 is there. So this is the one. The 10th it will start. and there it will go to 59. So that way, then afterwards, that details are being provided over here. And then rows, range of rows, okay. Then it comes to keep duplicates. And keep duplicates as well. What no, if we use the keep duplicates over here in this particular column, then then all the duplicates will remain and the rows will be the same. It will not differ because you can see that earlier also we have the count rows. We have the count rows at 9,994, and here also we can see over here. Instead of doing that, we can keep the duplicates. So we do the same thing. Even keeping the duplicates over here, and then uh, we can go over here and count rows. That is something. Okay, there that is also the step in between. We can just remove it. That is the same thing. So okay, so that way we are not doing anything over here because there are no duplicates. There are keep duplicates. The keep duplicates question is not over. Keep duplicates means what? It has not been affected. All the duplicates have been kept. Okay, so there is no difference between that and this. Fine. Only where the duplicates are there, only when we can see over here, sales details, we can see over here the practice part. Now, the keep duplicates means what? If we use the keep duplicates, then what will happen is there are for two students whose name are duplicated, only those students will appear over here. Rest all students whose names are not been duplicated will not appear for the keep duplicates. Okay. Then we have seen all those empty errors. Right? Errors we have seen earlier, that errors if we have, then those only errors will remain and other rows will go away. Fine. I've seen it in the first training session. Then comes the remove top rows. So this we will finish it today and then we will go to the group by function and end for today's session. That is the remove top rows, specifying how many rows to remove. So here we can tell that we want to remove the five rows. So up to this it will be removed. For serial number 6, it will be showing us. Okay. We can see over here the serial number 6 is shown. Top rows are being removed. Then we can remove the bottom rows similarly, like putting 10 over here. Number of rows from the bottom, like 9,994 we have. We can place so this we have removed it just because we can see over here 30 rows we had and we had removed the 10 rows. Okay, that way it is. And lastly, we can see over here the remove alternate rows. Then these are simple. Remove alternate rows means what? First row to remove, that is the 5 we will take. Then we can take the number of rows to remove. First row to remove, number of rows to remove. So from the 5, we will remove the next rows to keep. Okay. So from 5, we will remove the 5, and then afterwards that with what we will do is keep the 5. So now these are 30. These are 30. This particular thing is 30. 30 rows we can see. And there we can see how much is the difference now? 50. So what we have done it over here, what we have done it over here, 5, just click the setting button over here, just click the setting buttons over here so that the dialog box opens. And here we can see first row to remove is 5. After which we have removed the first row. So we can see over here. And how many rows to remove, number of rows to remove. After that, how many rows we have to remove. That way we need to give it and how many rows to keep. Okay, that way it is like 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 5. After 5, we have removed the 6, and then we have started with the 10th because, and how many rows to keep? That is the 15th. Till 14th, we have kept 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, till 14th, we have kept, and again, then we need to keep the 5, and after the 5, we need to remove it. So that way, this particular thing will be in a group. This particular thing will be in a group. Okay. So we will go back to the normal data now, and there we can use it. Oh, sorry, I'll close the thing and plot it in the Power BI example. For today, we will see one more thing that is there. For today, we will see one more thing that is the group by. Okay, group by, because we have created a group by over here, and that we will see the group by over here. In the group by, the essential thing is that there has to be a text field, and for that, there has to be a numeric field. So whatever in the text field, whichever names are appearing twice, so suppose product name is the text field, the whichever name are appearing in the twice, like we can see over here, for particular product name we can take, then we can see over here these many times the product group by these many times are appearing, right? They can be grouped by a single name can be shown, and for the cost per unit or the sales per unit, what we can do, we can take the average of those units and then show a single figure against that one group. So the text columns that are there, which are being grouped together, and the numerical columns, they are being either they can be either average, or they can be either taken as a what we call it either an average or some or any kind of count or any kind of calculation can be done. Numeric columns we can do the calculation. Text columns we cannot do any calculation. Okay, just count them. Now what I will do is use the group by function, and there I will use the new column name, that is the product name, and all those things. The new column name might be what? We can take the product. Okay, the product we can take it over here. Then we can use this operation, and here we can use the average, and then we can use the sales per unit. Suppose sales per unit we need to find out, that is the sales catalog. Then we will be able to find out all the other things are there, we will be gone. Okay, all the other columns will be gone, that will not be there. So I think in the transform tab, you can just go over here, and is it possible to do it? No, I think presently it is not. Okay, rounding off options are there, round up. Round up options are there, so we'll be able to round up or the round. Round is much better because we can specify the number of decimals we want. Here it is directly going on to the rounding off. So round is much better where we can specify how many decimal places we want. Like we can say the two decimal places. Then it will be just the two decimal places. That way it is. Now if you want to change and go to the advanced option, here we can go. Oh sorry. That is not the case. Here we can always go to that. Okay, sorry. With a close option. With the close option, we can see over here the product name and that. So here we can go to the advanced option, and there we can add a category over here. Instead of the product name can be over here. The product name can be over here, and there we can have the category. Okay, category. After the category, there is a subcategory, and then there is a product name. So here we are having only one, the category and the product name, and there we can have the new column name, that is okay. Then we can have the average. Then again we can put the this new column name will be what? Average price. Okay, we can put that the average price over here. That is average sales price. Okay, sales price, and then we can see over here in present that after the details, that we can see over here an average cost price. So after doing this, we will stop it properly. Average cost price. Okay, that we can do it over here. And see over here we can do it. Then over here that will take the average, and here we will take the instead of the sales per unit, we will take the cost per unit, and then we can expand the operations. Like you can see over here, this many things are there. Now this we can go over here, and that we can replace it in the transform column. We can use the what we call it, the format, or what we have used that. But here in the home tab, I suppose rounding off. Yeah, the rounding off option, the round, and there we can. I think we are over here. Okay, okay, okay. The group by is round off. So here we need to be there, and there we can just use the round off. Okay, the regular thing round off for here, rounding off. Then I can select both the options over here, I suppose, and then use the let me try. I can select both options. Okay, then and I can try the rounding off. And here I can put the two decimal places. So both the columns will be rounded off to the two decimal places. Okay. Right. So I think for the whole part, we have completed most of the things over here till the sort, the release rows, match columns, query, parameters, all these things we have completed. And then and afterwards for the next session we will see the transform and the combined part, which will finish the all those things over here, which will finish the home tab over here. Okay. Thank you. Bye bye.